And see, that's the problem with Disney Star Wars is like, why? Look, it's like, why are you investing time in shows like Skeleton Crew, in shows like The Acolyte, when you should have been focusing on the moment The Mandalorian was a success, especially season 2 when Ahsoka showed up and all that shit, and it was fucking badass. That should have been your plan. Okay, all money, all ideas go into developing this storyline. Instead, we've gotten all this other bullshit, and you're just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is a waste. You had Ahsoka season 1, and then it was just kind of like,
Yeah. I mean, they didn't even stick the
Acolyte.
landing on that either, dude. They had some good stuff with it, but I mean,
The
it's
Acolyte was
the Acolyte just took it took the wind out of the sails for every Star Wars
completely
fan.
Well, not
And
all
then-
fans. I mean, we know a few fans who fucking love the show, but
yeah, well, you know, I guess fans with a little bit of sense of good taste, but yeah, I mean, you just had the Acolyte, and then you follow it up with another week show, which is becoming the Skeleton Crew, and it's just sort of like, okay, it's not going to get any better, and I, dude, it's just they have so much potential, man. It's the same thing, even beyond the Skeleton Crew, they had so much potential just in the in just having the IP, just the Star Wars IP. They could have done something with it, and they've done nothing of note at all, man. It's just
Well, I mean, even with like the sequel trilogy, it's like, dude, you had a clear slate. You could have done anything, but you just relied on nostalgia and you just kept building it off that. And
yeah. They were like, well, we've got these 3 still alive for this movie at least, and we can really.
They could have done something really incredible.
They were like, we can't lose. We got the original 3. And they were like,
the main one.
we want JJ to come on as a director. You don't want to do it? Okay, well, we're getting more money. Okay, you can do it now. Okay, you have no passion for it, but you're willing to do it for money. Okay, great.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in.
You had the big 3, and you immediately said, okay, going into this film, all 3 of them are gonna be fucking failures.
Yeah.
What? Why would you do that? Just just have them start off where everyone assumes they left off, and then you watch their demise due to the First Order. It was so dumb. They spent so much time trying to show you, like, look, they're failures now. They suck.
Yeah.
Rey's cool. Follow her. Like, what?
Rey's cool.
Where's Luke? Oh, he's on a hidden planet, but he left a map. But he left
yeah. I'm gonna leave this key.
Yeah,
here.
and then
And
the
you
other
can
one,
find me later
come in,
if you
please.
need me.
Read
and the
script
other
for
one,
us.
I'll put inside R2D2. You'd never think of that.
Yeah.
It was just, and then R2 took a fucking back seat to BB-8, and it was like, bro, look, I get why they made BB-8. I thought BB-8 was a very cool design, whatever.
Very cool design.
But it's like, how can you give R2D2 a back seat when he's been a fixture in Star Wars for how long now?
Yes.
Decades. And you said, well, we want to introduce BB-8. And we want
what they did with R2 is what they did with every single character.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were just like new and improved, like the Disney version, like the new version. I love BB-8 as well. I'm even down with the other one, the BB-8E or the
little
black
one
with the sort of different kind of head. But yeah, the Death Star one or whatever the fuck.
It was like, what?
First Order one. I like that. I was like, cool. That was one of the things that I liked about The Last Jedi. I was like, oh, cool. Other than that, some shit movie.
Well,
But,
hyperspeed as a weapon.
But yeah, I mean, they did that. They were like, all right, okay, we got Daisy Ridley. That'll replace Carrie Fisher. We got, what's his name? Who's Moon Knight, and he'll replace fucking Harrison Ford.
God damn it!
And then we got the kid to play Finn. He's gonna replace Luke Skywalker. Done. It's a done deal. We're
But
good
it
to
wasn't
go.
even that, dude. It was so disjointed. I mean, in reality, look, I think that Daisy Ridley, either Finn or Poe should have been her love interest. Instead, neither one of them were. They were just kind of.
They kept leaning towards Finn anyway. Like it's like,
Well, but at the same time, it was like
Because they were afraid that he was going to give her the lightsaber.
but they weren't even close friends. Like
Yeah.
Finn had an obsession with Rey. Rey saw Finn as like, yeah, he's my friend.
Yeah.
And Finn's like, Rey, where are you? And then Poe was just like, I'm friends with them too, I think. You know, it was just kind of like, you know what I mean?
We're all friends here now. Thank you. Boring conversation anyway.
At least the Mando movie is something to look forward to. Yes, I would say I'm excited to see the Mando movie. There's a lot riding on that for Star Wars, but then again, I'd say that for every fucking project, and yet they still land on their feet somehow.
God, just because of the title, Mando and Grogu or whatever.
That's the stupidest title.
Grogu isn't even that big of a fucking deal for me, dude. I'm like, dude, he's there for the girls and the kids. Who gives a shit? He's so cute. Bring him back.
If you didn't have Grogu in this previous season, and then you
is that motherfucker going to be riding around in IG-11?
I don't know. My
dude.
point is
that
this:
stupid.
if he was never in the season, right? Because he didn't really do much of anything. He was just kind of there for the ride. If he was never in the season, and then when the Mandalorian Grogu movie, which you wouldn't call it that, but it would be the Mandalorian movie, released this trailer, and they showed Grogu in the trailer at the very end, like, you know, that he's coming back, that would have been more exciting than saying, let's just bring him back in Mando season 3. It's like, no, you wait to bring him back for the biggest payoff. Instead, you brought him back immediately because you were like, well, he makes us a lot of money. We don't really want to lose that.
We got a lot of plush toys. But you know, RJ's, you know, I agree with him. Man. Like it's all about money, and not about the quality of the fucking product.
That's the thing. That's what they looked at going into Mando season 3. They were like, well, the girls and the kids will show up in droves for him. Okay, let's get him back. Let's get him back. He had the perfect exit.
It's like, okay,
with Luke.
There's a lot of disconnection with the fucking stories. I mean, especially with like the sequel trilogy and Mandalorian. It's like there's just nothing. You know, it's like okay, we let go of Grogu. He went to Luke Skywalker. Why did we bring him back in Boba Fett? Like, I feel like that's shoehorned in. It's
they brought him back just for this right here.
Yeah,
this is the reason why.
Yeah, well, they need to stay on the drawing board and stop changing the damn story. It's like stick with
it
the
was
damn
a detriment to the show because the entire time it was like, what's he doing here? Like,
yeah. Like,
and he's like,
he was fit in, but like in a weird way. And that's what I was saying with the Naboo ship. I was like, oh, look, they made a fucking dome. That's going to be for fucking Grogu. And of course it was. And and also he could crawl from there to the front and sit in his lap. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are we doing with this
How did he get around his back? He's like, oh, shit. Oh, watch out, man.
Like,
He's
what
like,
the fuck are you doing?
He comes to his chest like a chest burster.
It's like, you look like a little fucking Mogwai.
He looks like a Mogwai. You guys know what a Mogwai is? I was telling these guys earlier that over on my sports channel, I use a Mogwai as an analogy, and a lot of those guys over in sports, they don't know what a Mogwai is. They're like, what? What's a Mogwai? Like,
I don't know. Is that like an audible?
It's like Revenge of the Nerds. If like a nerd was with the jocks in a podcast or something, you're talking to a bunch of ogres over there.
They're like, who invited this guy?
When I talk about a Mogwai, this is what they say to me.
Hey yo, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So yeah, Star Wars is kind of fucked. But I'm hoping that Dave Filoni can turn this around because they need to. Look, Ahsoka didn't get the best ratings.
In a long time.
Ahsoka didn't get the best ratings or views or whatever, but I actually liked the show. I thought it was cool. I thought it had cinematic appeal. I liked what they did in Ahsoka. And so if we can go that direction.
Would you have still liked it if Hayden wasn't a part of it?
Yeah.
You still would have liked it.
Yeah, he looked old anyway. I was like, okay, he's definitely aged.
Damn.
But let's not forget Andor season 2. I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, I'm hyped for season 2. Ahsoka was okay. Ahsoka was okay. It was. I mean, I like the actress that they got to play Ahsoka. That's cool. I think having Hayden enhance the show.
Absolutely.
I did not like the girl that was like.
Yeah, I still don't like the
Mando girl, whatever her name, Sabine.
Sabine,
I don't know.
That's the first name you got right. Shit.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I didn't like her that much.
He hated Sabine. He hated her.
That was so dumb.
Every episode he complained about her, but I told him, I was like, dude, you never watched Rebels, so it's like I like the character.
You like the character, but I didn't like the.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
I like female characters. Thank you.
Nervous laugh.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
That's what he's thinking of right now internally. Fuck you guys.
No, it doesn't quite work when you like, female actors. You just don't like them all. I didn't think they did a good job on her character, and I thought her trying to be a fucking Jedi was stupid.
It was.
I'm sorry.
Well, because
they need to have a connection.
I know, but
that not everybody has.
At the end of Rebels, both her, Sabine, and Ahsoka, they went out into space to try to find what's his fucking name?
That would have ended great.
I almost said Anakin. No, that's not it.
Thrawn.
What was the fucker's name they're trying to find?
No, that guy. Oh, fucking Goober. They did end up finding him.
They found him. They did, but like,
fucking.
So they set out to go find him in deep space, and so that's why they came up with the idea of like, hey, while they were out there doing that, she would have trained her as a Jedi, whatever. I like the whole thing about she's like, move the cup, and every time she tried doing that, it wouldn't work. They should have kept that going the entire time.
Yes, I would have liked that.
Even at the end,
yeah,
she should have not been able to do what she was able to do.
No,
it should have been like, I still can't do it, dude. Maybe next season or in the movie she figures it out, and then it's kind of like, okay, at least she had to fall multiple times before she was able to even do anything.
I wouldn't want her to move anything at all ever. No. Force using for her.
We love
Percy's if she's character. Not,
Ahsoka is the one that can use the Force, not her.
Exactly. She's not a Jedi.
Yeah. No, they did. Yeah, they did.
Baylan was really good.
I liked him.
Baylan's Skull. Baylan Skull was basically like, that was old school Star Wars right there. I was like, yeah, that feels like he embodied what Star Wars
he
is.
Brought a lot of gravity to the show. His apprentice, however, even though she's a girl, just didn't. You need a better actor.
I didn't think she was that bad. I know you hated her.
She sucked.
Shin Hati?
She was a hottie.
She was a hottie.
I fucking knew it.
That's why I set him up.
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is the pool for good actors like drying up in Hollywood?
Maybe we could audition.
dude, we could get. It's like what is it? Like in the Acolyte when the twins, they weren't even twins. Like, those are two different girls.
But I'll tell you what, I thought that they were better actors than the girl that fucking played what's her face.
Look, I'm not taking anything away from the kids' acting ability. They did fine.
They did good,
but they weren't twins.
Yeah. Oh no, they weren't twins. But
they weren't twins. I'm like, what? Why would you?
They were more believable than.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
No.
I thought they did a good job for being kids.
They did a good job for being kids. I think they're better than Whim, the kid playing Whim.
I like Whim. I think he's
not bad. But
they
were better.
Now that you brought up Whim, when in this previous episode, when they're heading down the planet, they're like, oh, "Where's Whim? Whim, what's wrong?" We have to go back to our regular lives. I'm like, we already had this conversation like an episode ago. Why are we? It was so recycled. I was like, wait, we already did this. Why are we doing it again? We know how he feels. So now by doing it a second time, now he's being annoying. Now he's being a little bitch. I mean, it's like,
they're like, that's filler because they're like, well, what do we do with
so
we fill in this?
Matt, you remember in one of the episodes how Whim was upset because he's like, oh, that means we're going to go back home, back to our regular lives. And I wanted to, experience an adventure. Well, in this previous episode, when they're about to head into the planet, what they think they're about to head in the planet, they're looking around. They're like, hey, where's Whim? Where is he? And then they find him, hiding by himself. And Fern's like, what's wrong? I don't want to go back to my regular life. I want an adventure. I'm like, dude, we already did this. Like, what are you talking about? And anyone who's a father, which congratulations to Matt, who just became a father.
Woo!
Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
No sleep till.
Yeah.
So anyone who's a father will know when your kids complaining about the same shit over and over again, it gets really fucking annoying. And I'm just like,
It
I would
is
have been like, we already had this
so-
conversation, Whim. Like, why are you getting upset? We already talked about this.
Well, also, I
Yeah.
think with all the shit that they've already been through, it's just been like, okay, I want to go home now.
Yeah, you should be like, we almost died a few times, so I'm ready to go home now.
I'm sure my
So-
father doesn't love me.
It was like they wrote this episode ahead of time, and then when they got to it again, they're like, "Oh shit, we already talked about that, didn't we?" Yeah. Oh fuck, it's already in there. Leave it in there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like that could have been cut out because it was like it's redundant.
it's redundant. It's ridiculous.
Redunculous.
It's
Redunculous.
redunculous. So that bothered me a lot in the show. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
we already did this, so you guys are losing track of what we've already known. And if there's one thing that bothers me, really gets under my skin about shows like a series, is when they do things where you're like, do you think I'm an idiot? You've already had this conversation. Like, what are you talking about? Or like when a show brings back an actor who played a different character in a previous season, you're like, wait, do you already use that actor? Do you think I'm an idiot? Like, what are you talking? What are you doing?
We're
Yeah,
not
look.
talking about the DC universe yet.
I know.
With Sean Gunn
That's coming up
everywhere.
next. Yeah, DC Universe is next. Integrity. Just hang tight.
Hang tight,
Okay,
buddy.
so where do we go from here when it comes to Star Wars? I mean,
I think they just
Dig a
reboot.
grave and we just
Just reboot. Reboot.
reboot. No, there's no way. They're never gonna do that.
Joker writes, it was easy for Savage, oppressed, Savage, oppressed to use the Force, and that's okay.
I feel like it wasn't easy for him. I saw that. I feel like it wasn't easy for him, dude. Watch the episode with Dooku training him. Like,
Yeah.
that took him a fat minute. Like, it took all of his anger just to lift 2 pillars. He could barely lift
And
one.
then Ray can lift up like a fucking mountain.
She can also
can stop a
cure
ship.
a worm snake.
Like Vader.
brings that back from the dead.
When she healed it, I was like, oh no, what? What's going
yeah.
on? You've gone too far this
You've
time.
gone too far. You destroyed Star Wars. We can
As
start
soon as
saving
she
people
healed
now.
it, Star Wars is like, we just did that. now we sprinkle in a little this and that, and then we go Acolyte. The Acolyte was Star Wars' attempt just to go full bore, full woke, full everything that they were sprinkling in all of the shows and movies. They're like, now we're gonna do it 100 miles an hour.
And then they're like,
And then it got
gotta love
canceled.
it.
And then it got canceled. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Somebody over there was like, dude.
All they did was like, okay, we're gonna have to reset. We're gonna pump the brakes. We're gonna have to reset, and we're gonna go right back to where we were, and
Yep.
we're gonna go further.
Shut up.
No one's ever really gone.
That's also true. that's also true.
And then to have Luke Skywalker show up and not actually be there, it's just so stupid. And then I remember watching the movie. I was like, "Don't die! Don't die! Don't die!" He died.
He died.
They can't help themselves, dude. They got to repeat the same beats.
It
They
was
can't
just
help.
like I was like, "Please don't kill him! Please don't kill him!" Okay, they killed him. Oh my god! So you're telling me that he won't be there in the end? Oh my god! Like, if he was there in the end and then died in the final battle doing something heroic, hey, that's cool. That's awesome. No, they were like, hey, he did his part.
Dude, I really wanted Ray to go dark side because it would have been like, holy shit, what are they gonna do? She's so
Yeah.
powerful. What are they gonna
She's
do?
uber powerful. She can't be stopped. It's like,
Okay,
oh
I
no.
Like, I would
So-
be like, okay, this is interesting.
I see what you're going for here, but at the same time, Grogu was a mystery character. We knew nothing about him. We don't know where he came from. We don't know who he is. So for him to do these great feats of using the Force, to me, was fine because we didn't know who he was. We didn't know what he was. We didn't know anything about him. That was the mystery of it.
Yeah.
So the more powerful you made him, the more intriguing he became. And then they shit all over that when they brought him back in season 3. What's up, Jason? Good to see you, buddy.
What up? What up?
Okay, Integrity has a question here. He says, what's the best modern Star Wars film?
Modern film.
Moderate.
I would say
One?
of all the Star Wars films that have come
Films?
out,
Mhm.
my
Modern?
favorite is Rogue One.
Yeah, I like Rogue One. Well, yeah, don't leave us in
Put
suspense.
together film. Yeah, no, it's the best of the of everything that's come out.
No shit.
So there you have it.
What's your choice?
Rogue One. I said Rogue One before you guys.
Rogue One.
Yeah. Rogue.
Rogu one.
Mandalorian and Rogu.
Maybe that's how they got the name. They're like Rogue.
Yeah, so someone said it wrong on
Well, how the fuck do you think they came up with Kylo Ren? Ben Solo. Solo Ben. You know, like, come on, Kylo Ren. That's fucking right there. It's just stupid. It's fucking right there. It's like, really? Ben
you should have heard him when he first discovered that. He wouldn't stop talking about it when he first heard about it.
Dude, when it
on,
almost feels like when they were making the Kenobi show. Sorry, not a movie. The Kenobi series. They were like, well, what do we do here? Like, well, wait a minute. She named her son Ben Solo. So Leia must have had some kind of interaction with Ben Kenobi before. Because why would she feel compelled to name him that? Oh, let's do that in Kenobi. Let's introduce Princess Leia into the show. Great idea. No, it wasn't. It was stupid. It was dumb. It should have been about him and Luke. Or him protecting Luke.
It should have just been about him. They should have left Luke on the planet with the uncle. And just he had an adventure on his own. He's doing shit with fucking Cody.
If they would have never introduced Maul again in animation, I think it would have been perfect for that series.
Really quick, I'm gonna be completely lost if I don't watch the previous films, or is it watchable on its own? What are we talking about?
Oh, Rogue One. You can watch it. It'll have some references to the older films, but you can still watch it.
It's a prequel to the original, so I mean, like it's.
You can watch Rogue One and then immediately watch A New Hope and
it goes right into it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Badass Darth Vader scene.
Yeah. See, that's when Disney actually gave a shit.
Yeah, they were like, let's do something really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And they did it. And I remember in the theater it was like,
and everyone was satisfied and happy with that, dude. And they're like, you know what? We're not gonna do that anymore. It's dumb.
You know what?
We don't have to put forth any effort. They're just gonna come. It's Star Wars.
Hey, tell JJ he wants Lando. He could have Lando.
Well, we lost Carrie, so we need Lando.
But even when Lando showed up, it was like, what's he doing here? He was like, last time I was here with Luke looking for this ship. And I want to be like, so you've been here all along?
Yeah. You're like, well, they have an amazing assortment of jelly donuts.
You know what I mean? He was like, we were looking for this ship that happens to be sitting right there on top of that ledge that nobody could find. But they were looking for that ship. But that was a while ago. Luke had been on the fucking on not Dagobah, but he'd been on the other planet for like fucking years. I'm like, Lando.
They fucking left Lando on there as like, kind of like a Legend of Zelda fucking, move where like, welcome to my shack.
I know, but it was so dumb.
Here's your side quest.
It was cool to see Lando again. I'll give him that. Sure. I was like, oh, awesome, Lando. But then when you look at his story, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So you've been there for like 10 years? Like
he's like, no,
did you just stop
you
looking
don't understand. I'm a loser now too.
He's like, I tried to match my friends. And not only that,
you're not a part of the New Republic either. No. I went back to gambling. I lost my ass off in more Sabak.
I actually just came from Canto Bite.
Yeah, that planet where nobody gives a shit.
But when they find him, he's inside that fucking was like a caravan or whatever the fuck it was, and he's like in disguise. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want to be like, hey, that's why I keep looking back on it. I'm like, hey, were you here the whole time? Did you know that Luke was already on that other planet and that he had gone into exile, or were you still here waiting for him? He's like, hey, Luke's gonna be back.
He told me to wait here until he returned.
Hey, Luke's gonna be back any minute, right? Right?
But that's fine as long as I got my Colt 45.
I mean, even if Lobot showed up, at least he'd have somebody to hang out with. He was by himself. He was by himself.
No,
it's like, what's happening?
Jaleel White should have come on the scene.
Jaleel White. I'm gonna die. You're gonna die laughing, just like your cousins.
You used to say people's gonna die.
So recently I tried to watch it's not even recently, it's like almost a year ago. I tried to watch The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh no.
After like maybe 30, maybe 40 minutes, I turned it off. It was so stupid. I was like, oh, this is dumb. All right, I'm over it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, these sequel movies, they're going to get better over time, and people are going to like them, after years and
age
years.
like wine.
They're going to age like wine, and the people growing up now are going to love it. It's like, bro, I'm sorry, but when you start looking at all the older movies and the older stuff, you're going to be like, yeah, what the fuck is this? And why are they doing that?
I mean, if you just show your kids like this stuff, then sure, they might like it.
Yeah. Yeah. If they have nothing to base it off of, they're just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about the lore. This makes sense to me.
I don't know anything about the lore. Well, I mean, that's what everything's gone to now. It's not about knowing the lore. It's about just consuming the product in front of you and saying, yeah, that was cool. Give me more.
Yeah.
It had lots of, I mean, look, we can all agree the sequel trilogy looked fucking amazing. Like special effects wise, lighting,
even all the practical stuff that he did, which I mean, it was like, oh hey, the prequels are all about green screen and all that, and so he was like, yeah, I'm really gonna do practical and all that, and I was like, okay, it's great, it looked amazing, but the problem started with The Force Awakens when they rehashed a lot of the story and they shit on the original characters and they didn't give you anything compelling, and they dropped the ball. They with Rey. They were like, yeah, you know what? She's awesome. And deal with it. And we'll give you 2 other films to kind of reconcile that, which you probably won't do.
Mm-hmm. She really needed Luke to bring her along and not just try and attempt to train her for 3 days, but actually like go with her on the adventure and kind of bring her up. And that would have been better for her than to be on, what was the name of that fucking planet? Looked like Ireland.
Ireland. What was it called? Octu.
Yeah.
Fucking YouTube.
Did you just say a Jew?
No, I said Octu, which is the planet that I'm from.
So he was on Octu. Like, I get he trained her on Octu, but like that was for like what, a couple of days?
Yeah.
And was like, huh?
She learned a lot. She became a Jedi.
There should have been a reason why she became so powerful. And to me, that
She's
reason would
Palpatine's granddaughter.
I know, but that's a dumb reason. It should have been it should have been that
out here.
She should have been a clone. She should have been a clone of Palpatine that was enhanced. And that's why she got so powerful so quickly. Instead, they're like, oh, she's just the granddaughter. Like, that's fucking great. He's fucking the son of Anakin Skywalker. It took him way longer.
There was one idiot that was like, you could tell that it was the granddaughter because of her fighting style. I was like, that's not something you fucking inherit.
And JJ's like, that's what I gotta go. That's what we gotta go with.
She has that same stance that Sidious had, so you can tell that they're related. Like what? Like yeah, they have the same gimpy leg.
It's like I don't see Luke Skywalker's fighting style anywhere close to.
And then apparently in Duel of the Fates, the movie that didn't get made by Colin Trevorrow, apparently she was going to have a double-bladed lightsaber. And that was the reason why you saw her with the staff in The Force Awakens, is because later on she would have a double-bladed lightsaber. And that's why they showed that. And that made a lot more sense. But, I mean...
And there were some things in there that were stupid, and there were some things in there that were actually pretty good. I liked that they had Luke, because he died, they had him tormenting Kylo, tormenting his nephew. You know, always there just sort of like, he's a spirit, so he's bothering him. He's something he can't get rid of, kind of like haunting him. I thought that was a pretty no one's ever really gone there, are there?
The cave! Remember your failure at the cave! Okay.
Laying your father, you did.
Oh, God.
All right.
Okay,
and switching gears.
Let's switch gears now. We've talked enough about Star Wars.